Look who it is. It's the dynamic duo. We are back for season 3 of the DK and Tree podcast, our NFL edition. Hey, let's give them a round of applause for that. Yeah.
Yes.
We are back, baby. Excited. All of you that has been waiting for football season to come back, it has came back. We are in full effect. It's your boy Damon. It's your boy TJ. We're here with the DK and Tree podcast. Man, it's just been an unbelievable season. Unbelievable start to the season. And it's just, I was looking at a lot of these games, just watching them. Hey, we had great games. We had a shellacking. We had 2 shellackings. And yeah, everything has just been ooh. And not to mention we had some fights. We had some people throwing down with handcuffs. Hey, we got a lot to get through. Go ahead. You go ahead, man.
Man, I mean, talking about one hell of a start to the year, man. It doesn't get much better than this. I mean, so many great games throughout the weekend. From Thursday, literally until Sunday night. I'm not even going to count what happened last night, but I mean, just a lot of great games this weekend. Just goes to show you that there's no better sport than this. I'll tell you that much. This is probably the most entertaining week 1 that I've experienced and watched in a long time. I cannot remember a better week 1 than this. This is great. It's wonderful.
Listen. It was just great to have football back. Football. We're all happy. Hey, listen out there to the sportscaster world, to the people that don't watch football. Right now, we are in our soap opera. We appreciate everything that you've done all over the summer, but right now it's our time. Any football fan, it is our time. It's our time to shine. Oh my goodness. Where are we going to start at today? Matter of fact, let me just kick this off. I'll kick it off.
Yes, because that's where we had to go to.
Yeah, I will kick this off. Okay. Now, in my post, after we lost that game to the Chiefs, I said no excuses. I'm not making any excuses for the Ravens losing that game. Only thing I'm going to say is, and what I've always hopped on, anytime we talked about, if you're going to call a fair game, call a fair game.
Right.
Just call a fair game. For us to get five illegal formation penalties, I'm like, okay. So you telling me the Chiefs didn't do this not one time? Their alignments were just perfectly fine. Oh, let's not talk about the false starts. Again, I'm not making excuses, but if you're going to call a game, make sure you just call it fair. I don't mind losing games. Just call it fair. PJ, what's happening?
How you doing?
Yeah. So, again, just call the game fairly. I don't mind losing. I don't. But if you call it fairly, call it fairly. That's the only thing I ask.
Right. That's it.
I mean, even though with all that adversity, for them to come down to the last play and almost even tie that game, but Harbaugh was automatically going for 2. And I don't blame him for trying to go for 2 and trying to end that game with Mahomes. I don't blame them. But a toe, it came down to a toe. So if you've been, and then, like I said, we shared the memes back and forth. And I mean, if the whole world is pretty much consistent saying that the refs were on the Chiefs side. These Don John's about to have me quit being a fan and work on my rap career.
Hey, look, man,
we're gonna get to that Giants game.
We'll get to them.
We're gonna get to them. Oh my goodness! But like I said, all in all, even though we had a rookie offensive line, I still say I'm proud of my boys. They did what they could for what they had, and like I said, Lamar was running for his life. I didn't like the fact that they didn't use Derrick Henry a lot more, which I think they should have. Right. But hey, it's week 1. They working out the kinks. So that's my 2 cents. Again, I'm not making excuses. A lot of people was like, oh, Ravens were ripped off, this and that. I'm not even going to spin that narrative. We lost. Plain and simple. And for the simple fact that 3 teams in the AFC North lost, the Steelers are on top. And that's off some field goals. But we're going to get to them in a minute. Go ahead. I get your opinions on it.
I mean, I took my notes on this game because boy, oh boy, was I watching. Sure was the rest of the world. But this game really came down to whether or not Lamar Jackson was going to make the key throws that he was supposed to make, that he is supposed to make every time he goes against Mahomes and the Chiefs. And yet again, I saw Lamar Jackson performance that had a lot of key throws that he needed to make, and he didn't make the crucial one. And he had 2 tries before that toe catch at the end. He had 2 tries to get a wide open touchdown and missed them both. One of them blatantly open, like no one even covered him. Zay Flowers, I know, when you listen to the press conference, you talk about, Lamar saying that, it was meant for Bateman. Me personally, I done watched that play so many fucking times that it feels like it was meant for Zay Flowers. You just sailed the shit. And if that's the case, just acknowledge that that's what the fuck it was and call it a day. So you missed Isaiah Likely at the corner, which it was scary because Isaiah Likely had one hell of a game. And for him to get hurt, it looked like for a second, he had some broken ribs going on. I didn't think he was coming back to play.
I thought it was his hip because of the way he fell. I thought it was going to be his hip. But it wasn't his hip, so that's a great thing. It wasn't the hip.
Yeah, so he ended up being fine enough to skip a play and ended up on the following play finding a way to make that catch. By the way, if I'm not mistaken, I believe he was double covered. I mean, it was like, how the fuck do you catch that shit? How do you? And it was like a part of me was just like, man, something tells me he doesn't have both feet down. And I was like, don't get too excited. But then when I saw the catch initially, like I was just like, oh man, this is fucking great. This is why football is the way that it is. This is why we enjoy this shit so fucking much. And then they showed the replay. I said, oh.
Listen. I was looking at that and see, like I said, I was looking at the facial expression of Zay. I don't think the ball was meant for him. I really don't, because generally a receiver will show you some most like he had that look like, damn. I just don't think, but hey, like I said, making no excuses, because that would have either put us right there in order to win that game at the end. That would have put us there. Even with the likely throw in the corner. Mm-hmm. Lamar was throwing that ball out of bounds. There was no way that was catchable. That ball wasn't catchable. That ball was not catchable.
It should have, is my point. And I think that's the problem I have with Lamar now. Because I saw it in the AFC Championship game. I saw it the game before that when y'all played against Kansas City. It just seems to be the same issue every single time the Baltimore Ravens and the Kansas City Chiefs play each other. It's literally the Kansas City Chiefs say, you know what, we're going to be up by 10 points. So now you got to come from behind to beat us. I know that's not like y'all, because usually when y'all play against other teams, y'all sit up there, y'all dominate the run game, y'all dominate the time of possession, and next thing you know, y'all up by 20 points. That way the game is basically a blowout. Well, you know what? Times are a little bit different.
That's been a pattern for us.
Yes. So when y'all play against Kansas City's already up by 10 points. Happy for y'all to come back, which forces for Lamar to make the throws. Then next thing you know, Lamar starts diming people up, and it's like, oh, okay, Lamar is actually good at this passing thing. And then next thing you know, we get to the fourth quarter, and it's like either something is off. The play calling, Lamar acts like he doesn't know how to throw the football anymore. Clock management becomes a fucking issue, or the defense just gets tired. And quite frankly, I would get tired too if I have 3 and outs time and time again, which sometimes happens. It always seems to be an issue. And it comes down to Lamar, because at the end of the day, these games come down to the ball in his hands. And when it's all said and done, when it's time for him to make the throw, he doesn't make it. And that's bothering me. And I know it bothers the fuck out of him, which is probably why, unfortunately, Raiders fans, when y'all play each other this week, don't be surprised if y'all get a beatdown of a lifetime, because it's coming. It's coming.
The Ravens are mad.
Oh,
They're
yes.
mad. And I'll tell you who's mad more than anybody. And you can tell, Roquan Smith.
Yes.
Roquan, he has a chip on his shoulder. He has a chip. But all the Ravens have a chip on their shoulder. So when that game is in Baltimore and the Raiders are coming over here, yeah, that's not going to be pretty. It's not going to be pretty. Now, like I said, the Raiders head coach, I always told you how I feel about that guy. That guy look like he'll take you out in the back of the woodshed and just give it to you, right? Oh, you missed the pass? Oh, yeah, watch what happened after this game. So,
right.
It's I'm telling you, it like I said, I made no excuses for it. I made no excuses. Not one. Right. Now, like I said, all the memes and everybody all around the world was making, oh yeah, them refs were favoring Kansas City.
Yep.
I'm not even spinning that narrative. I'm taking my L and I'm going on next week. Taking my L like a man and going on the next week. That's it.
Yep.
No ifs, no ands, no buts. But like I say, even with all that adversity that they went through, every last bit of that adversity that they went through, it came down to a toe. It came down to a toe.
And my point is that it didn't have to get to that point. How many times? How many times we gotta tell you this? Your old man. How many times? This is how I'm talking to the Ravens now. How many times we gotta tell you this, old man? Every single time it has to go down to some buffoonery, some bullshit. Every single time y'all play them, every time y'all can't just decisively beat the Chiefs. Y'all can't just decisively run the clock out the way you're supposed to be disciplined the way you're supposed to.
Once they figure out the formula, because remember, it was the same thing with New England, figuring out the formula. Once they finally figure out the formula, it's going to happen. They just haven't figured out the formula. Because remember, in that Tom Brady era, right? You had to figure out his formula. Once they figured out Tom Brady, they wore him out. They just haven't figured out the formula. That's all it is. And that's all it is. And like I said, when we started going up there shellacking New England, and they were like, oh, yeah, the Ravens ain't playing. Because we figured out Tom Brady's formula. Tom Brady even said it himself. Who was his kryptonite? Ed Reed.
Yep.
Was his kryptonite. We just got to find some kryptonite for Patrick Mahomes. That's all. That's it. Just got to figure out the formula.
Yeah, and
until we do, we're always going to be down on them.
Right. I just want to let everybody know I am aware that this is still week 1, so I'm not going to be too hyperbolic about it. But damn it, every single time these two teams play each other, this is what it goes down to. I feel like we've had the same talking points for the last 3 years when it comes to these two playing each other. Get it done. Somebody be disciplined.
It will get done. It will get done. But hey, guess what? That's on the week 2. I'm happy with my boys. Like I said, even though we had struggles on the offensive line, I'm still happy with them. I'm always riding with them. No ifs, no ands, no buts. No ifs, no ands, no buts. But hey, listen, Ravens all the time. Hey, listen, even though those other ones are on top of the division right now, they riding high right now. They happy. They happy. But we're gonna get to them in a minute. But let's go ahead and jump to your Eagles. Congratulations. Wait a minute, get hand clap.
Yes!
To the Eagles.
Oh, yes.
Brazil game. Gotta give it to the Eagles. Congratulations on that game. I mean, that was a game back and forth. Jordan Love is no joke.
Nope.
He is no joke. But what I will say about this one, and I did notice something from last year to this year with Jalen Hurts. I noticed last year, the previous years, he used to sit down a little bit and then ask for the ball. He didn't do any of that this year. I noticed his posture change. He's upright. He's not sitting down. I said, oh, that's different. Yeah. I said, that is definitely different with Jalen. And then here's the only thing I don't like about with Jalen Hurts or whatever. He's great passing. He'll find his man. It's no problem. But his running, don't run. Don't run. I get that he's trying to run, but like when he runs to the side, he doesn't really make it much yardage. But that game was back and forth. He did it with his arms. He did it with his receivers, a little bit with his legs. And y'all know y'all got the brotherly shove. Yes. So y'all made that famous, the brotherly shove. But that game went down to the wire. I enjoyed it. A little concerned for Jordan Love, what happened. Mm-hmm. But, hey, prayers to him. Hope he's not out for a long time. But that game was one of the best games of the start off. That was one of the best games. You had us, which was a great game. Then y'all coming up and say, oh, no, y'all not going to out-top us. And y'all no, we're going to do better. And it just seemed like each game was like, oh, no, we're going to top you. We're going to top this. We're going to top that. But that was great. A.J. Brown is a beast. A beast.
Yeah, man.
A beast. A.J. Brown is a beast. Listen, I'm giving you all props for that, man. But go ahead. I get your take on it.
Man, okay. So you know what's crazy? I was very proud of our defense. I know that they gave up 29 points, but I really don't think the final score tells the full story. A lot of times last season, the defense had a lot of issues with just giving up points off of just stupid shit. And that was probably because we didn't have a defensive coordinator. Right. And also because a lot of some of our defensive starters did not know how to play football. So we had that going on. But Friday was very telling for me because I saw a defense that some way, somehow, even though they had all the field position held up against them, found a way to hold the Packers offense to just 3 points on the first two possessions. I don't know how the fuck you do that. Not once, but twice. But that was incredible for me. Everything else was a plus. The interception was a plus. The fact that we got to Jordan Love a little bit was a plus. Okay?
Plus, absolutely.
And Saquon Barkley. That brother right there. About him. Woo! I just want to say, New York Giants, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much that y'all decided not to pay that man and y'all decided to give $40 million to a guy that has more pick sixes than actual touchdowns since his contract. I'm just saying. So thank you. And, I think Barkley with his 3 touchdowns was... Wait,
PJ clapping on you. You're not welcome.
Oh, absolutely. It's fine. It's fine. We just want to, you know what, we'll get to your Giants in a little bit. I just want to say thank you because y'all just, all y'all had to do was make a decision. Not 1, not 2, but 3 years ago to pay this man. And y'all decided that, you know what, we're going to wait. He's a running back. He's getting up there in age. I don't know if he's worth that money and all this other stuff. And you want to know how long that conversation was for Daniel Jones? A month. 4 weeks. A month. And y'all paid the man $40 million. How well is that working out for you?
It's not. It's not.
Yes!
Yeah, you're right. The boy is bad, PJ. The boy is bad.
So Saquon having a day was fucking spectacular. Jalen Hurts started off shitty. I will admit he started off shitty. I don't know why he thought it was a great idea to throw in the triple, quadruple coverage for that first interception of the year, but go off. But then after that, he started having his highs and lows. It was a typical Jalen Hurts game, kind of showing off the rust from last year. Right. I think the game in totality showed that both teams didn't have their starters playing in the preseason, number one. Number two, I have this in my notes too. Yeah, the field conditions were a piece of shit.
Yeah, they were horrible.
fucking garbage. I just wanted to put that out there. I had seen so many people slipping and sliding like it was a goddamn water park. People, I was afraid for my life. Every time somebody fell to the ground, I thought somebody tore their ACL or something. It was bad.
Yeah, because it's a soccer field. It's not a football field.
I know.
And they're trying. I get they're trying to get global reach, but you got to start thinking about players' health.
Right.
Especially playing on someone else's field that they're not used to playing on. You got to start thinking about that.
I was like, come on, man. Listen, and by the way, y'all ain't slick. Because this ain't the first time the NFL decided to bring us to a field that had a lot of dirty and wild-ass conditions, okay?
No, absolutely not.
This is not the first time you've done that to us. I'm keeping tabs on that. So
wait a minute. We can talk about some fields here.
Yes.
Some regular fields.
Oh,
okay. And
I'll pick on all the strays right now. Because
the Ravens field was bad at one time.
Yep.
The Commanders field was bad at one time. Oh, we can go on some different stadiums.
We can. But you want to know who gets it the worst? MetLife fucking Stadium. Y'all just can't seem to catch a break. Now y'all got a break week 1. Congratulations. Y'all had a break week 1. But trust me, throughout the rest of this season, y'all not going to take care of that damn field. And there's going to be a whole lot more fucking injuries. And instead of y'all worrying about having to take care of your fields or taking care of how well you can improve your roster or how to get Malik Neighbors the fucking ball, y'all trying to figure out how y'all can justify Daniel Jones getting $40 million a year. Y'all keep going. Y'all keep up with that, okay? We'll just keep winning the division. We'll just keep having Saquon Barkley having a whole bunch of touchdowns. Probably 5 more against y'all when we play y'all. And you know what?
We can't.
Exactly my point.
We can't.
Exactly my point. So, I mean, altogether, I think the Eagles did a fantastic job from start to finish. We have a lot of things to work on, but this is what happens when you don't play your starters in the preseason because now everybody's fucking rusty, and it showed. The offensive line has some issues. We had the defense that had some issues. Jalen Hurts is still a little rusty. But other than that, I'll take a win. Literally, if we took the issues out of it, we might have messed around and had 50 points. That's just how well the offense was going. We just had to clean some stuff up as far as, on defense with some of the penalties. Some of the penalties were kind of horrible. But other than that,
absolutely.
Other than that,
if you want to talk about penalties, let's talk about penalties all around the league. All around the league. You want to talk about penalties. Like I said, week 1, it's just like we said, everybody's trying to get their act together, and it's a tool. You got new people in new places. They work together for the first time. But again, that's why we say this practice and these reps all show up. And I'm gonna talk about that later when we get to that 49ers and Jets game about, hey, looking winded because you holding out, and you're not practicing. Oh, I want my money. I ain't gonna do this. Yeah, but you over there sucking down oxygen. I'm just saying.
Yep.
I'm just saying. But even you could tell who worked out and who didn't work out. Even in y'all game, even in our game, you could tell who worked out and who didn't work out. Because you could tell how some people were winded and some people's like, hey, man, I'm good. Right. I got my lungs. I'm great. Let's get through this. But like I said, I'm gonna dial back on Saquon. Man, he was a beast. He was running over those boys like, hey, I told y'all should have kept me. I told y'all I still got it. I told y'all that I am the man. I am the man. And he proved it. He showed it. And just running through, crashing through the line. I said, ooh. And even the commentators was talking about Saquon Barkley. Hey, New York, what did you do?
Shit.
Great for fantasy. Yes, it was. It was great for fantasy. It sure was. Yeah,
I'm glad they had to play against him.
He did a great job. Hey, listen, like I said, props to that game because that game was a barn burner. And like I said, and then when you think that you did better, you think, okay, our game was great. Another game was like, oh, no, y'all can't out-top us. We're going to do better than that.
Yep.
these games this weekend was just off the chain. I said, man, if we wasn't ready for this, it was just like, hey, we was in a detox and we couldn't drink anything or take anything.
Yeah.
And now we back. Hey, we got our fix. We are good.
Right.
And to speak of your game being great, let's go to another game that I think pretty much topped yours. Let's go to the Bills and the Cards, because that was a great game.
Yeah, it was. Kyler fucking Murray, ladies and gentlemen, in case you forgot who the fuck he was giving y'all a great ass reminder. Time in and time out. Them third down conversions. I was watching that game at the bar, and I was watching that game, and I was like, damn, again? Again? Y'all just can't stop this man, can you? Every time I'm thinking he's going to go to the ground, y'all going to sack him, y'all going to bring him down. Nope, he's evading. He's over here. He's over there. Next thing you know, he's got a touchdown? What the fuck
got
happened?
a touchdown. Not a touchdown.
It's like, what is going on right now? I just loved it. And by the way, I'm proud of the Arizona Cardinals because I watched that entire game. And even in a loss, I was like, wow, this is some good play calling. I gotta say, this is some great offensive play calling I'm seeing here. A lot of motion, a lot of balance with the run game. They didn't even get Harrison the ball a whole lot. They didn't even get him involved yet. And they were putting up that many points. I was like, wow, this is pretty good. If this is what the Arizona Cardinals offense is going to look like for the rest of the year, look out. They may have some upsets on their hands for sure.
Listen, they addressed their issues. And wait. Here's the biggest thing with Arizona. Kyler Murray is healthy.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
He's healthy. So a healthy Kyler Murray, hey, and they did all this without Marquise Brown.
Yep.
Who didn't play in week 1 because he was hurt. Yep. Right? With the Chiefs. They did all this without him. So they started to put pieces back together and say, hey, look, we're going to be a contender again. We're going to be a contender again. And like I said, but hey, let me go back to something too. Josh Allen. You can't count that guy out. Remember, they lost Stephon Diggs, right?
Yep.
Right.
Did.
So you would think, hey, man, Buffalo probably ain't going to do too much this year. But Buffalo reminded you, you keep thinking who we not? Oh, no, I'm going to tell you who we are. Right. And that game was back and forth. And what was Allen doing? Putting it on his back. Kind of like what Lamar did. Put it on his back. I'm going to put this on my back. Mm-hmm. And I'm going to get this done. They was going up and down the field, kind of like Love and Hurts was going up and down the field.
Sure
like I said, when you think one game was, this was a great game. Oh, they was like, oh, no, you're not going to out-top us. And then you go to the next one. Oh, you're not going to out-top us. And we still got another game that out-tops this one.
Yep, sure does.
So the simple fact that when you go through these great games, and I'm like, oh, my God, they scored another touchdown. Oh, my God, they scored another touchdown. Oh, my God, they scored another touchdown. They was going up and down the field. This reminds me of the old days, the old NFL games back in the 90s and the 2000s, where they was just going back and forth. Mm-hmm. I'm telling you, that game was exciting to watch. Like I said, I was mostly watching the highlights for that because I was watching different games. But when I was watching the highlights of that game, I was like, oh, my goodness, they didn't score another touchdown? They didn't score another touchdown? Wait a minute. They didn't score another touchdown? Wait. I'm like, is anybody playing any defense around here? Can you pay for some defense around here? Can anybody pay for some defense?
Not really. Boy, that's why you saw so many. That's why half the penalties I saw was just like, look, man, what else do you want us to do? Okay, we cannot guard them. And I was like, I understand. I get it.
Right. And I was just like, man, who's going to stop who? For right now, no one's stopping anyone. Nobody's stopping anybody. Unless you're the Kansas City Chiefs with the rep. I'm sorry. Shade. You know I'm gonna throw shade.
Could not help yourself.
You know I'm gonna throw some shade.
I know you are. I know you are. I don't want shades today, but damn it, I'm gonna make these work too.
Yep, absolutely. I'm gonna definitely throw some shade. Throw shade at all of them because, again, like I said, these games were great, and we was just happy. These games were great. But like I said, if you thought the Bills and the Cards was going, let's go on down to let's see, Indianapolis, because they played the Texans in a barn burner.
So good. So
in
good.
A barn burner. Remember, now CJ Stroud has Diggs down there, and he was hyped up, but he was just spreading that ball all over the place. But hey, Anthony Richardson saying, oh no, you're not going to out-top me. We're going to go up and down the field with you. What more than two young lions going at it? And they was proving, hey, I'm good. Oh, you think you good? I'm better. Oh, you think you better? I'm better than that. And they was just showing that on displays. Like I said, Houston's going to be a force to be reckoned with this year.
Yeah.
But only to lose by 2 points. And remember, Anthony Richardson was on the shelf all year. All season last season. On the shelf. Gardner Minshew was down there. He comes back and almost beats the Texans. And like I said, like we said, week one. Everybody's going to work. But again, these are barn burner games. Barn burners. We already know what CJ Stroud is capable of. Yeah. It's just now it's scary that Anthony Richardson has that same caliber of talent.
I mean, he's healthy too.
Yes, everyone's healthy, and you know something. This is going to be something. It's going to be something totally different this year. It's going to be some teams going to be surprising a lot of people this year. A lot.
Yeah.
And what I liked more about with anything, like I said, CJ Stroud was making connections with Diggs. He's making connections with his other receivers. And what's this? DeMarco Ryans, second year?
Yep.
And he's putting together a masterpiece down there. And they were on the road. They wasn't at home.
Yeah.
They were on the road.
That's right.
So I give it to you. You go for it.
I mean, watching that game, I just watched two quarterbacks who just knew what they were doing. And man, I don't know if you saw the clip of the roof version of the Anthony Richardson touchdown, the bomb that he threw at the beginning of the game.
Nah, I missed it.
The most prettiest thing I have seen all day. Okay, outside of the usual. Okay, the prettiest thing I've seen all day. Okay, and it was like, wow. He has a nice touch. You can tell he's accurate. And by the way, outside of Michael Pittman and Jonathan Taylor, who do you know on that wide receiving core that's going to get catches from him? I don't know him. Exactly.
I don't know.
And it's reminiscent of what CJ Stroud did last year, where he was dishing out a lot of these targets to just everybody. And then you start hearing about a Tank Dell, a Nico Collins, a Dalton Schultz. And now you got Stephon Diggs too?
Yeah, right.
And then to make matters worse, he wasn't even the storyline of the game. You want to know do you want to know where the takeaway from that game was for me? Joe Mixon. Almost 160 yards.
That's right.
Total.
He's there.
And I saw a guy who sat up there and said, hey, you know what? I understand everybody's having a little issue trying to get into the end zone. Let me help y'all with that. Let me punch it in a couple times. Let me just have big gain after big gain. They're probably not going to stop me anyways. It's totally fine. Like, he literally took the ball and said, you know what? I got it. Don't worry. And CJ Stroud, all he had to do was make the throws that he needed to make, and that's all that he needed. And they still needed to go down to the wire. It was like, wow, that game was incredible. Andy Richardson was fantastic.
Yes.
Again, again from start to finish, even the way that it ended. Man, CJ Stroud threw a dart. I mean a dart. A dart. I mean a needle in a haystack. That's how much margin of error he had to complete that third down to Nico Collins. And it was a perfect strike. I thought it was incomplete. I'm going to be the one to tell you, I thought for sure that was an incomplete pass. I did. And sure enough, who came down with it? Nico Collins.
Nico Collins.
Yep. CJ Stroud. You can't tell me that there was any other way to end that game better than that. That was beautiful.
Right.
Beautiful.
Listen, and like I said, if you thought these games, he was like, oh no, you had that game, we're gonna one up you. Oh no, you had that game, we're gonna one up you. Oh, you had that game, we're definitely gonna one up you. They was just one upping each other in these games. Like, no, we showing you that we're gonna be a force to be reckoned with. We showing you that, hey, don't play with us because it's time. It is that time of year. We've been waiting all season. Hey, we came close, but it wasn't good enough. We're gonna get further, and that's what they're proving. Like I said, Texas, man, they're gonna be a force to be reckoned with. They are definitely going to be a force to be reckoned with. And and to top that one, I give you one more. To top that game, what about Detroit? What about Detroit? What about Detroit?
You don't need to say it anymore.
Like I said, if you think these games, they're one-upping each other, and that game went into overtime.
Yep, sure did.
That game went into overtime. Detroit, I tell people, I said Detroit's going to be a force to be reckoned with. But you see, Dan Campbell, he's learning from last year. He's learning because he was like, okay, I'm not being as aggressive as I normally am.
Right.
He was aggressive, but not as he normally was last season. He's recognizing these mistakes. Now, don't get me wrong. Matthew Stafford, that had to feel good, even in a loss for Stafford and quarterback Detroit. What's
Jared Goff? Yep.
Yeah, Jared Goff. That had to feel good for both of them. And here's the reason why. Remember, Matthew Stafford was in Detroit for a long time. A long, long time. So he knows the energy of that building. He knows how to play through that adversity. Even though I'm on another team, I know how to get through this. Yeah. But for Jared Goff being down there and all those fans rallying around the Detroit Lions, because, man, they have a wave of momentum going down there. If you looked at that game, man, it was like two Titans clashing.
Yeah.
Clashing. Jared Goff go down the field. Touchdown. Matthew Stafford said, nope, you ain't going to one-up me. I'm going to come back at you. Right?
Right.
But you can tell with the Rams that loss of Aaron Donald. You could tell. Yeah. They don't really have a pass rush like that. They really can't stop the run because Detroit was running all over top of them.
That's right.
All over top of them. And like I said, back and forth to go into overtime. And then what did Detroit do? They ran that damn ball down their throat all the way to a rushing touchdown. That tells you the missing pieces that you have up front, that you can't stop this run. And Detroit showed you, you're not going to stop us. We're going to run down your throat until you can stop us. Jared Goff barely threw that ball in that overtime. But that game was great. That couldn't have been a better Sunday night football game. A better Sunday night football game.
I agree.
Go for it.
I agree.
Go for it.
And now I will say the Rams, I saw a Rams team on Sunday that ran out of gas in overtime because they literally, I promise you, that was probably the best effort they possibly could have given the way that Detroit was having that momentum. But I got to give kudos to Matthew Stafford, okay?
Mm-hmm.
That guy, I watched that game and I sat up there and I said, okay, he's going to take a beating. And he did. He's probably going to make some throws that are a little bit errant. And he did.
Yep.
But then it was like he is the reason, his performance was the reason why when everybody talks about these young quarterbacks and how they don't have this and they don't have that performance we saw on Sunday night showed you why that is bullshit. Both of his tackles are out. One of them got injured during the game. Right. Both of his guards got hurt during the game.
Yeah.
The center got hurt during the game. He has a whole new offensive line blocking for him throughout literally the rest of the second half. And then, before we even get into halftime, Puka Nacua goes down.
Oh, yeah.
And he hurts his PCL. He's going to be out for, it looks like, the next 4 weeks, if I'm not mistaken.
Right.
So now it's like, okay, I don't have an offensive line. My one of my top targets are down too. And then my defense is giving up huge rushing gain after huge rushing gain, big throw after big throw, putting all these points on the board. What the fuck do I do? Well, you know what? I still have Cooper Kupp. And he just kept throwing it to him and throwing it to him some more. And
believe it or not, he was ready. Big Cooper Kupp was ready for that moment.
He sure
was.
If
I had to put it on my shoulders, I'm going to put it on my shoulders. And he did.
And exactly. And so you had Cooper Kupp get involved a lot more. And then they said, you know what? We still have a running back by the name of Kyren Williams. Yeah, he's pretty good at running the football. Let's give him the ball some more. And next thing you know, we're gonna have a one possession game. Now I'm like, okay, wait, I thought this game was supposed to be over. How is the Rams doing this right now? And it was like, literally, it was a performance that showed you why they extended Matthew Stafford, why they decided to pay him the money, because performances like that. And yes, did they lose the game? Yes, absolutely. You want to put that stamp on that? Sure. But even in a loss,
it wasn't easy. It wasn't easy for Detroit to beat them. It was not easy.
It had to go down to the wire, and it had to go to overtime. And you could even make the argument that if the Rams had won the toss, that they could have easily went down and scored on that defense too. And it could have been a direct opposite. That's how well of a game it was from both teams. I just want to give kudos to Matthew Stafford for staying sane enough to finish that game, knowing good and damn well I have nothing in front of me to block for me. Because I'll tell you right now, if there was any other quarterback, if it was any other team, we would have been like, well, of course they fucking lost. And it would have been a fucking blowout. Every time you turn around, Stafford's getting hit. Every time you turn around, he's getting sacked. They couldn't block Aiden Hutchinson to save their fucking lives.
Oh, no.
And they had to go to overtime?
Yeah, to overtime to decide this game.
That is a biggest fuck you to all the young quarterbacks who struggle. Your Will Levises of the world, all the different rookie quarterbacks, the young quarterbacks that are, oh, well, I don't have this or I don't have that. Well, maybe if I had this, I would do more. I would do better. Matthew Stafford said, fuck all that. And fuck you too. Let's bring this shit to overtime. Let's have a chance.
Absolutely.
Fucking ridiculous.
And like I said, man, that the game was great. It had me on the edge of my seat the whole game because you didn't know how that game was going to play out. Because when you think, okay, they're probably going to win this game, but wait a minute. Oh, they're coming back. Oh, wait a minute. We're going to overtime? Oh, Lord. Oh, man. So you just can't predict some of these games. You can't. No. Hey, listen, when I was going down the predictions, I think I got most of them right. But I got a lot of them wrong. I got a lot of them wrong. I was like, ooh, oh yeah. Let me start looking at this a little bit better. My draft odds done went down.
No gambling for you for the weekend. Trust your picks.
Oh, absolutely not. But hey, if you think that game was good, hey, let's go up to Seattle.
Mm-hmm.
Those are the Broncos. Now, wait. I picked Seattle to win that game, so that was one that I did get. But I was more shocked of Denver fighting the way they were against Seattle.
Me too.
I was shocked, and they only lost by 6. Matter of fact, it's the same score as the Rams and the Lions, 26-20.
Yep.
And like I said, Mike McDonald up there, he's the new head coach of the Seahawks. He's trying to put everything together. You know, he took some Ravens players with him up there. He was a great defensive coordinator. He's going to be a great head coach.
Yeah.
But don't count Sean Payton out, because Sean's like, no, I'm going to fight you. Like I said, this fight that Denver put up against them shocked me, because I didn't expect Denver to do anything this year. I mean, I expected that game to be a blowout. They probably scored a field goal or maybe one touchdown. But for them to afford the way they do, especially with all the changes that Denver had put up there, I was like, and I saw the score, I was like, whoa. Oh.
Right.
Okay, Denver. And guess who Denver played next? The Steelers.
Get it done, Denver. I'm starting to hear them already.
Yeah, that's exactly who they're about to play. They're about to play Pittsburgh next. So if they did this against them, and that's 20 points, right? They only scored 18 points against Atlanta off of field goals.
Yep.
I'm just saying. Hey, well, wait. It's just like you said earlier. Who's going to be the quarterback? Who's going to be the quarterback?
I better not see a report about Fields not playing next week. I better not see it. Because for all of the inconsistencies I saw in Justin Fields on Sunday, and yes, there were some, he actually played really well. All things considered.
Absolutely. I get props due. He played well.
And
for what he could do and what he had.
Yes.
And I'm going to give props. George Pickens is a beast.
It's a bad man.
Pickens is a beast. A beast. I give props for props due, and you know how much I hate the Steelers. I hate the Steelers. I do. But I give props for props due. That's why I'm not biased. I've never been biased on this show. If it's messed up, it's messed up. If it's props for props, I say it's props. Yeah, it's Mr. Whoever in Lawrenceburg, North Carolina, thinking I'm biased. Oh, I'm sorry, throwing shade. That's another show. So, I'm sorry. My apologies.
Well done, sir.
Yeah, well done. Yeah. So again, Steelers fans, since we're on the Steelers and the Falcons now, I picked y'all to win that game, which I kind of figured, but I didn't expect that y'all wasn't going to do it without one touchdown. I watched that game. And of course, the disruptor, who's always the disruptor, TJ Watt. He's always the disruptor. Now, I don't know if you saw the call where he was upset and they called him for the offside, so he jumped the snap. And I seen all the Pittsburgh fans started yelling and jumping down and screaming it wasn't offsides because he was trying to time the snap. But he did jump offsides before that ball was snapped.
Yep.
I was watching that game. That was a game I was focused on watching because I wanted to see exactly what they were going to do. But let's jump on the defensive side of it. Disruptor is TJ Watt. But what did Patrick Queen do?
I didn't hear his name a lot.
2 tackles. That's it.
I didn't hear his name a lot.
Pickens won't matter if he keeps wigging on him.
Yeah.
So again, everybody was so hyped up by Patrick Queen going there. Hey, listen, the man went and got his money. I'm not mad at you. But how many tackles did he have for the game? 2. Two. Like I said, TJ is very reputable. TJ Watt is very reputable. You're not going to stop that guy all the time. You got to double team the guy. Yeah. The one thing I've seen, especially with Steelers games, is if you take TJ Watt out the game, it's a totally different game because he's going to get frustrated. You take him out the game, it's going to be a totally different game. You just have to stop the disruptor. He's the disruptor. But for you to go down the field and only get 5 field goals, what is that saying about the offense? The offense needs some work. Right. They definitely need work. I'm not even going to say the offensive line was bad. I'm not going to say it. Now they're going to see how good Queen is without Roquan. Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely. If you put someone next to someone that's great, of course they're going to step their game up. Of course they're going to be great. Absolutely they're going to be great. But you take them away from that, now you have to stand on your own. Well, how great are you? Right. But like I said, it's only week 1. We're going to see how you do. But Steelers, and none of them fans are in here. I would figure they would have been in here knowing that they saying that they're on top of the division and the rest of us lost. I was waiting for them all. And I was ready for this. And I tell you who else ain't coming here? Kansas City. Whole state of Missouri. I've been waiting for them too. None of them has shown up. Good. None of them. Good. I've been waiting for them. You say good? Good. I was waiting for them because I had backup for them. I had backup. Man.
Nauseating. I can't believe you know what frustrates me? I feel like I said this last season. I feel like I'm gonna have to say this again. It sounds like I'm a fucking broken record or some shit. The Steelers. Are we watching the same damn game? Are we watching the same game? Because last time I checked, I'm more disappointed in whatever the fucking Falcons did on that fucking field on Sunday. I'm not more impressed with whatever the fuck the Steelers did. I'm disappointed that the Atlanta Falcons, the same Atlanta Falcons that had paid Kirk Cousins all this buku money, all this, you know what, we're going to start him even though we drafted a quarterback 8 overall to eventually replace him. We have Kyle Pitts. We have Bijan Robinson. We have Drake London. And y'all can't put any points on the board? 12 points? 12 points is how many points y'all can put up on the board against the Pittsburgh Steelers. The Pittsburgh Steelers defense that, by the way, now I know a lot of people, especially after Joey Porter Jr. had something to say about, how many yards did Drake London have, and how many catches did he have, and all this other stuff. If y'all want to use the terminology that Joey Porter Jr. shut down Drake London, sure. You want to have that? Fine. Enjoy that for week 1. Okay.
I like this comment. I think the Steelers look good by default, and the Falcons are the default.
like seriously. Like, I know y'all had to watch the same fucking game. Y'all had to. Like, I sat up there and I was like,
it was the same. Wait. Remember when we talked about this whole Matt Canada thing? And they were we want Matt Canada out of here. Matt Canada has to go. Matt Canada has to go. Was there any improvement?
No. You want to know why?
I'm just saying.
You want to know why?
I'm just saying, was there any improvement?
Because the Steelers got their sloppy seconds. Arthur Smith was the head coach for the Falcons last year. Did everybody forget that? You want to know who was getting targets for the Atlanta Falcons last year? Tyler Algier. You want to know who wasn't getting targets? Bijan Robinson. You want to know who was getting more targets than Kyle Pitts last year? Jonnu Smith. Does anybody know if he's on a fucking roster? Exactly my point. That's who y'all have as offensive coordinator. Then you go to the flip side with Atlanta. Atlanta, you mean to tell me there's been more 3-and-outs than my beard's been able to grow over the past 3 weeks? That's what you're trying to tell me? I mean, you got to be kidding me. It was ridiculous. I was like, what was bothering me the most was that I saw a Falcons offense that could have easily exploited that Steelers defense. And they just did not take advantage.
They didn't take advantage of it.
And I was like, that was even with TJ Watt being disruptive as he was. You still could have exploited what the fuck they were doing defensively. And you didn't. The interception rate was completely egregious. What the fuck are you throwing that to? Jesus? The only person that I saw was Joey Porter picking that off. No one in black was gonna catch that. No one.
No.
It's like, what are you doing? So now I gotta hear this for the next week and a half. Great. Thanks.
Oh yeah. We gotta hear it until week 2. But like I said, if Denver go into Pittsburgh and beat them, what will be the excuse then? I'm just saying, what's going to be the excuse? What's going to be the excuse? Because, again, like you said, it could have been exploited. Because if you know TJ's going to be rushing, guess what? Throw towards him. Throw towards him. Like, oh, you coming? Let me throw a screen. Okay, we got you out the way. Got to get rid of the ball faster. But, with all the illegal formations, I guess that they were scared of. I'm sorry.
Hey, if that's the case, I'll win. That's fine. Sure.
Yeah. With all the illegal formation calls, and since if you want to update for illegal formations, last season they only had 15. They had 22 in the first week.
Damn.
22 in the first week. That's just a illegal formation update. I'm gonna incorporate that in the show. Illegal formation update.
We have a counter for illegal formation calls. I'm with it.
Oh yeah. Right. Yeah, that is crazy. That's crazy. 22 in the first week, but 15 all season last year.
Wow.
That's crazy. Well, who are you trying to make a statement on? But I guess I'm off my Steelers tangent. I give them free time. Dante ain't even here.
Good.
He's not even here.
Good.
He's good.
Don't do this to me, man.
But I gotta let me go to this game because I gotta give someone a shout out for this one. So Chargers and the Raiders, and you expect the Raiders to win the game or whatever, and then the fight at the end, the fight at the end of the game in the end zone or whatever. But the only reason I'm going to the Chargers here for a second is because a good friend of mine, one of my coworkers, passed away, and he was a Chargers fan. And me and him, we were always battling whenever the Chargers and the Raiders played. We'd be texting back and forth. Real funny guy. And rest in peace, my boy Jesse. Rest in peace. Your Bolts, they pulled it out for you. Good game, like I said. And like I said, they was fighting in the end zone. You like the drama. I know you can hear me up there in heaven. So, hey, man, rest in peace to you. Your Bolts won for you, man. And I'm going to miss those conversations between me and you, especially when our teams play. And, I just want to give a shout out to that because, like I said, the Chargers did win. That was his team, the Bolts. But hey, man, that one broke my heart when, he passed away. So I just wanted to give a shout out for that game, for the Chargers. So I give it to you. Go ahead.
Man, no, condolences to him and the family, man. It's, being close knit to the whole situation from a distance, obviously. Knowing how that affected you. I was watching that game a little bit differently than typical. But you know what? I never thought I would say this, but J.K. Dobbins is actually pretty good at that running back thing. Oh my.
Him and Gus is a tandem up there, ain't they?
And you know what? I want to say, I want to do this right now. I apologize. I was wrong, and I apologize. You want to know why? Because heading into the season, heading into this year, I definitely thought that, the Chargers, they're going to have a rebuild year. They're not really ready yet, and it's fine. It may ultimately still be that this year. But what I saw on Sunday was J.K. Dobbins healthy and Gus Edwards running the football. And I was like, ooh, they could do this now. They could do this. But the best bet, I get it. I get it. And again, I know I'm trying my hardest to not be hyperbolic. I know it's week 1. I know. But J.K. Dobbins healthy had to be the most enjoyable thing I've ever seen on my screen on Sunday.
Yeah. Yes. I mean, he did a heck of a job. A heck of a job.
He deserves
a heck of a job.
I've never seen
a heck of a job.
I'm not even joking. My biggest gripe was this guy has torn his ACL in not one, but in both knees.
Yes.
He's done it twice.
Yep.
On 2 different legs.
Okay.
And it had a torn Achilles as well. And to do that, to have 100+ yards on the ground, to get in the end zone, and it wasn't he had one big run and then everything else was small. No. When he touched that ball, he was getting his yards.
He was getting his man. He was getting his man.
I just wanted to shout him out because I'm so proud of him.
Look who the coach is.
Yeah, he's a hardball.
A hardball.
It's a hardball.
A hardball. You know, they may coach differently, but they had the same concept. We're going to run the ball. We're going to run the ball. Look what he did in Michigan. Yep. Look what he did in Michigan. And wait. I'm going to jump off topic a little bit. Look what happened to Michigan. And Harbaugh ain't there. Damn. Look what happened. They got shellacked. Mm-hmm. They got shellacked in that game.
What is it? Oh, no, I'm sorry. There you go. I'll get the fingers right. But Texas did something to Michigan that was just leave them alone. Just leave them alone. Right.
Also, unlike us, they won't be splitting his touches with Hill. Yeah.
That's right.
Yes.
That's right.
Absolutely. So, man, like I said, that Chargers game, other than, like I said, the fight at the end of the game in the end zone.
Yeah. Oh, brutal, but I loved it.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Oh,
we need some drama.
Oh, it was great.
Yeah, we definitely need some drama. But my Jesse, man, rest in peace up there. Your Bolts, they did it for you. Yeah, and, it's all good. Do you guys like Hill? I like Keaton Mitchell better than Hill.
Yeah. Oh, dog, I put that in my notes too. Where the fuck was Keaton Mitchell?
Remember, he's still hurt. Remember, he blew his knee out. He's still hurt. They say he probably won't be back to at least week 6.
Oh, okay.
At least week 6.
Because I was checking in on that. I was like, what happened? I was like, I thought he would be ready to go. Seeing reports, especially getting close up to the week that we're starting to see some progress. I'm like, oh, okay. Might mess around to see him. Not yet. Okay.
Yeah, not yet. At least week 6. At least week 6. Okay. Now, I think we got all the great games. Oh, we missed the Dolphins and the Jags. That was another good game. That was another. That one came down to the wire. Even though the whole Tyreek Hill incident happened, but we'll talk about that on another situation. Yeah. Because I see all the different opinions out there about who was right, who was wrong, and whatever. And I'm going to just say this, and I'm going to say my piece on it as far as that whole incident. Sometimes we put ourselves in bad situations just by this. We put ourselves in bad situations. Instead of just saying, hey, here you go. Hey, I got a game to get to. I know I'm sick. Let me apologize. I'm sorry. And just keep it moving. Because I was listening to Shannon Sharp and Ocho talk about this whole thing with that when he was getting to the game. Yeah. And Shannon was like, hey, my whole thing is if I'm encountering the police, I need to get home. I'm not going to give them flack. I'm not going to do this. A lot of people may not understand this, but Florida has a law, just like Virginia, where they can arrest you for reckless driving, right? But also they have a law down there that you have to keep your windows down. They have a law down there, a law that said you have to keep your windows down. So I get all the opinions. I get how people feel. I get how people has a lot of animosity against the police, but just because that incident happened doesn't mean that all these officers are bad.
Yeah. Right.
And officers get a bad break. They do. They get bad breaks because they see what's happened. Everybody want to jump on a cause and a bandwagon instead of understanding the whole situation. Of course, when you see the cell phone video, it shows one side of the story, right? But that's why officers wear body cams. And the body cams showed another part of the story, right? Because of concealed weapons possibly. Could be. But Florida, I think, is open carry. Florida's open carry.
Yeah, if I'm not mistaken, yeah.
Yeah, so, again, was it a bad situation on both parts? Yes, it was. Yes, it was. I'm not siding with either side. All I'm saying is that sometimes we need to take accountability for our actions, because guess what? If I'm in that same situation, I'm not trying to be in any type of confrontation with them, because I'm trying to go home. Plain and simple. I'm giving you all my information. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. I'll take my day in court. Plain and simple.
Right.
If you want to tune in on any of that.
I mean, I purposely have not watched the body cam footage because I feel like it's critical for people to understand that sometimes it's better to just take a step back and wait for what the context of the situation is versus just jumping on it because you saw something. And when I saw the initial video, just like everyone else, it was just like, okay, what's going on? What's the real deal behind that? What's the issue? Then I took a step back and I was like, let's just wait, just like everybody else, just wait for the context of the situation to arise, and you can decide whether or not how you feel about it then. I get it. It's the day and age we live in now. We're so, as soon as something drops, we just have to automatically have our opinion on it and just
your emotions are already in it. Yeah, your emotions are already in it.
Yeah, and that was my thing. I didn't want that to be the case. Like, I still have yet to see the body cam footage. I'll probably take the time out when we're done off of here to go watch it for myself to decide on how I honestly feel, because I don't have a distinct feeling about it. It was just one of those things where it's just like, well, what actually happened? What was it really about? And until somebody can give me a concrete answer about it, that's all it needs to be. That's all it needs to be. And so it could have been much smoother if Hill came off less challenging to the officer. Even if the officer acted a bit overly aggressive afterwards, it was a bit too late by then. Yeah.
Like I said, you have to watch the body cam video. You have to watch the body cam video. Uh-oh, someone's waiting for the Cowboys Commanders highlight.
Do we really have to talk about them? Do we really? Do we have to? Do we have to? Oh, man.
Oh, my goodness.
No.
All right. Let's finish this one up.
Sure.
Once you see the body cam video, then you can
Yeah, I'll revisit it. I'll revisit it then.
Yeah, we'll revisit it. But good win by the Dolphins, and like I said, you could see what Tyreek did in the end zone celebration. He put his hands behind his back and had his
partner like cuffing him. I love that.
Hey, I'm all for shade. I am. You know me. I am shady as they come when it comes to that. I'm shady. You know I'm messy when it comes to football. See, I'm messy. So,
yes.
And this is what we love. We love being messy during football season because, hey, if your team won, oh, yeah, it's this. We trash it. You know, your keyboard gangsters, because a lot of them don't come through here and see me. And I see the keyboard gangsters don't come see me. But I tell them, I'm here every week. I can't hide because we have this platform. Whether the Ravens win, lose, or draw, I can't hide. I can't hide.
Same
So, but
here.
good win to the Dolphins off a field goal.
Right.
So, and since they're waiting for the let's start with the Cowboys. But I want to start with the Browns. How about that? Y'all made me look bad. Browns, y'all made me look bad. Because I'd said early in the season that no NFC East team would beat any AFC North team. Cleveland. Y'all let me down. Matter of fact, I got something for this. Cleveland, y'all a bunch of up there. That's what y'all. Okay, I'm so with Cleveland that it makes no sense. Cleveland, you can go to that's how I feel about whole Cleveland. Okay, let me start with Cleveland because I ain't starting with the Cowboys. I'm starting with Cleveland because Cleveland had the problem. Did Deshaun Watson look like he was worth $250 million?
Guaranteed.
Any part of it.
Guaranteed.
Matter of fact, Deshaun. How about that? I am so disgusted. I am so disgusted with that whole thing with Deshaun Watson. His piss poor performance. Performance. When I mean piss poor, I thought, wait. Which performance is worse? Was it Daniel Jones or was it Deshaun Watson?
Deshaun Watson. At least we know what to expect from Daniel Jones.
Thank you. That's saying something. That is completely saying something. Y'all let the Cowboys come into your house and beat the brakes. You made Michael Parsons look like a superstar. Y'all couldn't block a damn paper bag. How about that? If the wind blew, someone was coming through your offensive line.
Right.
Deshaun, who was you throwing the ball to? Did you forget the colors of your team? You know something? I'm gonna just turn. I'm gonna turn that one over to you. Go ahead.
Why are you so surprised? Why are you so shocked? Why are you so surprised, man? Why? I just want to know. Why are you surprised? I said this when we were doing our predictions video. I said it.
Yes, you did.
When someone can tell me that Deshaun Watson has thrown 30 yards down the field, we can have a conversation. Until then, I want to hear a word. I want to hear it.
We thank him for the interception.
Exactly.
Wait a minute. Hold on. I got you. I got to pull yours on this one. If you looked, the Cowboys had the ball back.
Exactly. Beautiful.
Yeah, I didn't think he was going to be that bad either. Cleveland, you have thoroughly upset me. And again, I was completely shocked because I watched that game and I was looking like, oh, and not to mention that Dak got his money 6 hours before the game started. 6 hours before the game started, that he got his money. So don't get me wrong. The Cowboys, y'all look great. And if there's any Cowboys fans that's in here, y'all look great. Don't get me wrong. I was impressed. I was like, oh, wow. They're throwing this ball down the field like it's nothing. Cowboys, I had to give it to. The stats were not that great, but it was a good game. It doesn't matter about the stats. Y'all beat the brakes off Cleveland. Y'all beat the brakes off 33-17. Y'all beat the brakes off of them. Okay, Cleveland, that was the worst performance I've ever seen with Cleveland in my life. So again, I give it to the Cowboys because the Cowboys they did a great job. I did not expect them to be the AFC North team. I didn't. But y'all proved me wrong. But week 3, y'all got the Ravens. That ain't happening. I'm just letting you know right now. That's not happening. So, and we're coming to your house, and I'm coming to that game, and I cannot wait for that game with the Cowboys because I get the Cowboys fans, y'all talk a lot of trash or whatever, but I love when y'all talk that trash to me because I talk trash back. And I'm going to be there, and I'm going to try to hopefully get some Cowboys fans to interview while I'm down there also because I like to share experiences wherever I go. And I love y'all fan base down there because when y'all don't get y'all way, oh, it's like a national depression down there. People be calling out from work talking about, oh, I can't go to work today. The Cowboys lost. Wait, what? It's a national depression when the Cowboys lose down there. That's the most pathetic thing I've seen in my life, that people are not going to work. I see you back.
All right, we're back.
Yeah. So I was just talking about the whole Cowboys thing and, said the stats wasn't that good, but the Cowboys, y'all put a shellacking on Cleveland. Shellacking. Y'all beat the brakes off of them.
Yep.
Y'all beat the brakes off of them. There was nothing else that Myles Garrett could have did to overturn that game. I'll be looking for that podcast. Don't do us like that. I think before you came back on, I was talking trash. This is what I said about the Cowboys. So basically, if the Cowboys lose it, and if they live down there in Dallas, man, it's a national depression down there. They be calling out of work. Oh, I can't go to work today. The Cowboys lost. I'm like, wait, what? This is pathetic. But yeah, it'd be a national depression down there when the Cowboys lose. I'm like, oh my God, y'all dead serious down here. And then you get who the problem is down there, old Jerry Jones. Well, it's old Dak's fault. Dak should have did this and Dak should have did that. I paid him all this money and he's not performing up to what he's supposed to be doing. Oh, sorry. I'll let you chime in.
Nope, you said everything that I was going to say. You know it. You know it. I don't want to hear shit about Dallas until we get to January. And until then, I'm going to sit here and I'm going to have these wonderful glasses on and I'm going to sit back and I'm going to wait. Until then, oh no, you don't have to worry about hearing anything from me. You don't have to worry about hearing anything from me. Oh, this is great.
So,
I'll let you have all the commentary you need. This is great. I'm good. I'll sit back and I'll watch.
So listen, my crown.
Yes.
Listen, my crown. You said you're going to be looking for that podcast. I don't duck anybody out. Anything I'm selling, I can take back. Because trust me, I've had to eat crow on here. And if you go back to one of the shows of week 18, I had to wear a brown bag over my head for an episode because I lost a bet to the Steelers fans. I take my medicine. I take my lumps. If you so happen to beat the Ravens in week 3, I will come on here and give you props. Matter of fact, I'll send you a link to come on in here and you can trash me on the air. I am an equal opportunity person. Yeah.
Please stop it. I promise you, it's not going to be good for us.
Wait. You forget Tree's a Cowboys fan, so no go she happy.
Again, it still won't be good for us. You know that. Our mental health is very important here, man. Come on.
Oh my goodness. Hey, I'm a skim through this one. What happened to the $1 billion team? You got beat by Chicago? The $1 billion team. I told you we should have went down there and tried out. I told you we should have went down there and tried out. I would have gave a better performance than that. Right. I'm just saying. And right. I probably could have been like on the defensive line, give me a linebacker because I'm not that fast. I can't keep up with these guys. If he runs up through the middle, I'll hit him coming through the middle. But I can't keep up. Don't put me on a corner or nothing. Them guys will smoke me. Okay.
Right.
Give me like 750,000. I'd be the linebacker in the middle. I'm good there.
Exactly.
But you threw up a toss, just trying to get rid of the ball, and it was intercepted for a pick six.
Mm-hmm. Good job, Will Levis.
And I picked the $1 billion team to win, and they lost to Chicago, who don't have Justin Fields.
They got Caleb Williams though, who didn't look good by the way. He didn't look good by the way.
I'm just saying. I'm just saying. But I wanted to touch on that one just for a second because we getting down to the nitty gritty. Do we have to go to the Commodores? Whoever you want. Something. Let me just scoop by them. They lost.
Right. That's
They
it.
lost.
That's all you need.
Yeah,
That's all you need right
need.
there.
I don't even think we have to talk about the shellacking. The Saints.
Nope.
We ain't got to talk about that. Y'all saw what happened. 47-10.
Right.
Shellacking. But the shocker of the day, the Cincinnati Bengals lost to the New England Patriots.
Unbelievable.
And where my girl Gina at?
I have no words for that.
Yeah. So, all right, we're going to wind this down. And we all saw with the Vikes and the Giants. I got you. So,
All right.
That's all our games. All right, cool. And, 49ers, we saw that last night, and there was nothing else better that the 49ers could have did. I mean, there was nothing else better that the 49ers could have did.
They're still that team.
Well, anybody that beats Aaron Rodgers, I'm happy.
I
know how I feel about Aaron Rodgers.
I know.
But in this season 3 of the podcast, I'm going to give you the first brown bag.
Ooh, this is good. This is simple. Hey, Carolina Panthers, you guys get a brown bag. That was what? Man, what the fuck did y'all decide to do this past Sunday, huh? Y'all wanted to put shoulder pads on? Y'all even want to go to the arena? Y'all probably still stuck in that hotel. I know New Orleans got that little vibe to it. I get it. But y'all definitely get that for sure. For sure.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
My
yeah.
God.
We knew that was good. But I'm going to piggyback off of you, and I'm going right up to New York. The Giants. You get a brown bag.
Yeah.
I don't think if anyone saw that game, you understand why. You understand why. Daniel Jones ain't worth that money. And Saquon Barkley proved that, hey, you should have paid me.
That's right.
Should have paid me. Got another one?
Ooh. You know what? You can say the Bengals too, but that's kind of I would use the Bengals.
Give it to
I'll
them.
do the Bengals. Y'all get a brown bag, man. Because y'all can't lose to one of the worst teams in the league and think that's okay. Come on. No.
Yep.
No way.
Absolutely. I was shocked. That would shock me because I picked them to win. And y'all lost to New England and Jacoby Brissett. You know something? Speaking of Brissett, he should have stayed in Cleveland. They probably would have beat that game against the
But I have a better chance than Deshaun Watson.
Yeah, better chance. And a better chance. Let me see. Who else? Oh, Cleveland ain't exempt from this neither. But, I'm not going to give it to all of Cleveland. I'm going to give it to Deshaun Watson. He gets a brown bag.
There you go.
He gets a brown bag. Yeah.
That's more like it.
Yeah, Deshaun Watson gets a brown bag. He gets a brown bag. Not too much on the New York Giants.
Yeah, right. You know y'all deserve it. I know y'all watched that game. I know you watched that game, Patricia.
Listen, we didn't harp on them too much, but yeah, they deserve that brown bag. Let me see. Anybody else? No, the rest of the games was kind of great.
Yep.
Give us our bag and let's move on. We already gave him the bag. Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Whoa.
Cousins, too.
That's a good one.
Gets a brown bag. Yep. Because like we talked about, there could have been a lot more things that could have been done that they could have got over that defense. Seriously. Absolutely. Right. The rest of the other games were great.
That's right.
The rest of the other games were great. I don't see anybody else I could have gave it to. I'm not going to pick on Aaron Rodgers this week. Not this week. I ain't going to pick her. I give him a brown bag every chance I get. Every chance I get to give Aaron Rodgers a brown bag. And I'm not even going to pick on the Steelers.
Nope.
I'm not even going to pick on them this week. But if they get all field goals again in week 2 without a touchdown, I'm going to start picking on them.
Right.
I'm going to start picking on them. Well, we appreciate all the love that y'all came through. We be out here and, hey, we thank you for your feedback. We thank you for your comments. We will be back to you next Tuesday. And TJ is going to start coming up with another segment where he's going to jump on and do some things. We'll get that out to you real soon. And if anyone's listening, like on Saturdays, me and Tree, we jump on other topics also. So jumping on that, Tree has a heck of a story that we're going to drop on Saturday. So if anybody's free on Saturday, be looking for this one because this one is funny. So DJ, it's always a pleasure. Always a pleasure. And let's do this. Hey, we're signing off. We will see you next week.